Well,
All right, good. Good. You'll tell me all that. I'll make that all happen. All right. He screamed. I made a man scream today.
And one cries.
Right.
At least one.
Screamer and a crier. There you go. For the record, I might get to wear the rose tomorrow. I get to wear the rose. Sorry, bring it in. She has to pull my string down sometimes. I'm a helium balloon. I'm way over there.
You stay up there. No need to come down for anybody. We'll join you.
And it's multicultural. It's like all of us. It's a community.
Absolutely.
It's a global thing. Sorry.
What are you apologizing about? Look, I like you no matter what.
Out of control. No matter what.
Hey, look at that.
He said it. That's our thing. We always say, I wonder if everyone we talk to will say no matter what at least one time without thinking about it.
Well, I was going to say it. I was going to surprise you. Then it just came out. I can't control myself around you. Okay. Welcome to Life Changes with Filippo. And today life is really changing because we're here with Lisa Nichols. And anywhere she is, things change all around her.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Lisa, thank you for joining us on the show. I am so excited.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Oh, this is so much fun. You know, last night, I know about you, of course. I've been a fan for a long time, The Secret, yada, yada. And last night I said, I wonder if she's got anything new going on. So I went to your website and I saw that she's got a book coming out and it's called No Matter What.
Yes, it's out as of
It's out
now.
actually as of, okay.
As of now. It's been out for a couple of days now.
A couple days. Oh, okay. So there it is. And, here it is, actually.
Yes.
Why don't we just...
Yes.
Hey.
This is the book. The title says it all, No Matter What. And we're in a no matter what time right now, you know?
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. So I'm driving here because we're going to get to do this interview, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I leave plenty of time to get here. Mm-hmm. And LA traffic, I know what it's like. I live here. It's fine. It's only 20 minutes away, but it'll take me 2 hours. It's okay. Right. I've allotted 2.5, no problem. And then today, down to a stop. It's just like, I couldn't get here. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? And in my mind, I'm saying, no matter what, I'm getting this interview.
Right.
I'm going to get to meet Lisa, and I'm going to get to interview. And doesn't matter what was in my head. And I thought, what am I going to talk to Lisa about today?
Well, look at here.
And we're here, no matter what had happened.
Yes, and you were in perfect time, by the way.
Yes.
You were in perfect time.
And that's an interesting concept for us to get, isn't it? For most people to get. And so... You're late, but somehow it's right. Well,
and I'm moving fast, and I'm doing enough. And I want to do more, but I'm doing enough. And I want to be loved, but I'm loved enough. I want to love, but I'm loving enough. All of it's about this surreal place of it's enough, I'm okay, I'm tall enough, I'm short enough, I'm beautiful enough, I'm smart enough. I'm enough, and it's okay. Like when we get to that place, that centeredness, that grounded spiritual place, whatever our spirituality is, when we get to that place where we can't be moved, then all of a sudden the flow begins. And we no longer become a reservoir holding everything in. We become a river where things flow through us. And in the biggest storm ever, we can stand in the eye of the storm and still be still. It doesn't matter. And that's that place that we all desire to be before we die. Like, I don't want to be at peace right before I'm about to transition. I want to be at peace, in my 30s and my 40s and, in my 50s. I want to be at peace when there's life left. And I think being at peace means being able to know I'm enough in this moment. And there's still so much for me to learn, but I'm enough in this moment.
Wow. Wow. So where does that, I know where it comes from, especially with you. You're so good at telling us all where it comes from. It comes from. Now, you started off with, when we say humble beginnings, but it's not humble beginnings. It's worse than that.
What's humble beginnings? Humble beginnings all relative, I started off, and I have to say that in a family where love was abundant. My family overflows with love. So there's no unhealthy, not enough love, not enough, acknowledgement, enough of all of that. But I grew up in a space where there wasn't enough money and there wasn't enough self-esteem for me. I grew up in a place where, since I didn't see anyone that was beautiful, that looked like me on television, I immediately began to doubt me. where do I fit? And I think we all do it. We all have our reason why we did it. You know, you may have your reason why you did it. I had my reason. My reason was when I looked at my sheroes, Charlie's Angels, Bionic Woman, Wonder Woman, no one had mocha skin and full lips and round hips and kinky hair. And so I took on this conversation that, I'm not good enough. No one that looks like me will ever do anything spectacular.
Because I'm not on that little screen, or I'm not on that big screen.
Right, because I'm not the role model. There's no one that looks like me that's a role model. You know, and every role model that looks like me they've transitioned on. They're not around. You know, other than my grandmother. You know, but I wanted a role model that the world saw as a role model as well. And so I come from this place where even with a great family, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I was popular, so I had to smile all the time. On the inside, though, I was full of fear and self-doubt and worry and, you know, just all of these self-destructive feelings. But I couldn't tell anyone because I was captain of the cheerleading squad and editor of yearbook and captain of the track team and had this great dad who was, you know, in the PTA, and I had this amazing family. But I didn't have what I needed, which was love for Lisa, celebration for Lisa, assurance for Lisa. And then on top of that, I was on my best day with my best grades in school, I got a C+. That was the best. That was all you were going to get. I mean, and so I wasn't a super achiever in any way. So I just sort of was average across the board.
But that was because of what was going inside, though, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously.
Absolutely. My chatter, you know, controlled my reality, as all of your chatter controls your reality. Right. And so my chatter said, I'm not good enough. Okay, well, then I wouldn't be good enough at anything. And then I found myself not being truthful with the people around me to say, I'm sad, I'm hurting, help, you know. And so I found myself in a very dark place at 19. I think 19 was when the spiral, you know, hit the ground. And I found myself in the bathroom with a handful of pills going, I don't want to die, but I need the pain to stop. And if the only way the pain will stop is for me to take these pills, then okay. And it was at that moment that at first I counted the pills, and I wasn't sure whether 8 would do the job. And I was afraid of not doing the job if I tried, because then I'd really be in trouble with my parents. And so I remember putting the pills back in the bottle and falling to the floor and crying out to God, saying, if you bring me through this dark place, I promise I will spend a lifetime helping other people be inspired and feel good. And so my life today is about keeping a promise that I made at 19. You're so cute. You're like, what do I say after that, huh? Yeah, and most people don't know that, you know. They think that I came up with this strategy and this marketing plan. One day I want to be on stage. It wasn't about that. It was about seeing people who had lights in them, like I had a light in me, that for some reason I couldn't quite let the light out. Or some reason I was afraid for the light to be seen by anyone. What happens if they see the light and they don't like me because the light's so bright? You know how there are people that are around you that they don't quite celebrate the light because they haven't found theirs. And it's our job to love them through their exploration and their journey, but to not dim our light. And I didn't know that. I thought, because this light has always been in me. I mean, I saw myself at 5, and I was on a picture like this. I mean, the light was there at 5, but it was all the chatter that began to cover up the light, and it was like the chatter became this mud clay over the light, and the chatter came from me, and then I'd hear the chatter come from other people who were doubting themselves, who just needed to learn how to love themselves, but their chatter became my chatter. And so I realized that I had to crack that mud off of my light, and I believe we all have a light. And I believe those of us who are in the greatest form of despair are those who know about the light, but who have put so much of the mud clay on top that we don't know how to crack it. And that's why things like The Secret, and that's why things like Chicken Soup for the Soul, and things like No Matter What, and things like your show, that's why people gravitate to it, hold on to it, because it says, I see your light, and I'm not going to let you forget about your light. And it's your responsibility to share your light with us. Most people think that...
Help us.
Yeah, most people think sharing their light is self-indulgent, self-grandizing. But really, sharing your light is your responsibility and your service.
there's a way to share it.
Yes, but when you share it, you're actually liberating others. You don't share your light for you. You share your light for who's illuminated, because you said yes to your light.
Wow.
My light coming out has nothing to do with me. I'm being obedient. I'm being in service. My light has to do with seeing how bright and beautiful you are, because you're sitting close enough where your light illuminates me and my light illuminates you. And that's why The Secret was so sweet and Chicken Soup was so sweet, because they just celebrated people's light. That's why I claim no matter what will be a bestseller, because it says, let me help you chip away the mud. You know, let me help you crack the mud. When I wrote this book, I didn't write the book from the light. I wrote the book from what I had to do to get to the light. And that's what people are wanting right now. How do I get to my light? How do I get to my purpose? How do I get to my passion? How do I get to my fearlessness? How do I get to my core determination? How do I get to my I know, like I know, like I know? How do I get there? Tell me the steps. Help me. And people are ready for that. And don't sugarcoat the answer. You know, don't, grandize it so much where I can't see the real everyday ABCs in it.